What's happening with your shoulder?
Alright, okay, so last week I pretty much buggered my shoulder. It stems from a shoulder blade kind of rib injury in the middle of my spine, and it's quite a nasty one, I'm not going to lie. I partially tore like a muscle that holds my rib cage in place, and that just got worse, and all of a sudden I had a bad night's sleep over the weekend, and it just sort of kind of drifted up and twisted round, and yeah, so
It's a good laugh when you walked in here, out your tits.
Yeah. Saturday morning was fun. I looked like a little junkie.
You looked like a homeless person that walked in, and you went you're probably less compos mentis than a homeless person.
I fitted in with like some other tradesmen people.
Fitted into the local area.
How are you, Ross?
I'm grand. Apparently you need to train to get injured, so I'm doing alright. No risk of injury here. Yeah, no, I'm good. Working on some stuff behind the scenes at the moment to try and make our customer service and member experience a hell of a lot better, which is taking up a lot of my time. And I would love to say it's exciting and rock and roll, but it's sitting in the back end of systems and trying to figure them out. So it's like trying to make the non-studious semi-rebel. Someone's like a tech geek, so I'm trying to turn myself into it.
Somebody's got to adult around here every now and again, man.
Somebody has got to adult, and unfortunately that adult has always got to be me. So that's what I signed up for, and that's what we're doing. But yeah, so today we're going to talk about supplements. We're going to talk about basically our views on supplements, what we recommend, what we don't recommend, if we see a benefit of them, and what people that we train typically should be taking. So what are your, very quickly, what are your views on supplements?
Right, for supplements, it's from the kind of learnings that we've got from the people that from Lift the Bar, the webinars and nutrition webinars, and a lot of the kind of nutrition approach that we've seen, what I've seen in my time in fitness. It's like supplements is one of these things, is to obviously supplement a healthy balanced nutritional diet that's fueling you towards your goal. So we spoke about the calorific pyramid previously, and we try and go down that route with a lot of people as well, that where the biggest important part of your diet is your number of calories. So if you're obviously burning less, and if you're burning more than what your intaking is, then there's going to be a kind of deficit there. The next part is when we're looking at the type of calories, so the macronutrient breakdown, then the quality or timing of them, when and how good your calories are around about your kind of workout time. Then after that is your supplements, if we really need that. But a lot of the time we see people have flipped that pyramid on its arse, and they're on its head or whatever, but it's not the right way up anyway.
You can use arse.
Then we can try and think about.
Right, I'm going to intervene here. I'm going to cut that. I think what you're saying is that what we see is that when people come in and they want to start training, one of the first questions is, what supplements should I be taking? And it's hold your horses. To use that calorie pyramid, if we've got the number of calories you're eating at the bottom of the pyramid, they'll get the type of calories and what type. So that's carbs, fats, proteins, and the combination of how you manipulate those three food groups. After that, you've got the quality of them and the timing of them and all that stuff. But people are like, what supplements should I take? What should I spend my money on? And you're like, no, just
good food, man.
Yeah, just nail the basics. Yeah. Start eating properly. Stop eating at McDonald's. Stop drinking all weekend. Yeah. Stop living off Haribo and sweets.
Yeah.
I say that because I tanned a bag of Haribo a couple of nights ago. Yeah. But yeah, that's the priority. The priority isn't going to bodybuilding.com or whatever website you go to buy, or whatever supplement shop you go to and dropping a few hundred quid. Nail those basics, and then as over time, when your results add up and you start to get in better shape, you start to feel the benefit of training, and you get your ducks in a row, then you can add on that supplement. But you don't supplement a shite diet. You supplement a good diet.
I've seen people in the past talking about why they take a certain type of whey protein, and you're like, right, cool, that's great. How's the actual nutrition part of it going? You can just see they're just ramming the worst type of calories down their neck and you're like, it just totally defeats your purpose. Its purpose there, and a lot of like gyms you'll see, they'll have like these like vending machines, or like, I mean, as much as we sell like protein bars here, we like to think that we get our message across to like our members that this is cool to have, but again, make sure the basics are hit. I mean, it's the same with like training. People will overcomplicate like the type of program they're on when, for example, they can't perform like the basic fundamental movements. So it's like, well, let's dial it back to the extreme basics to make sure that the right thing at the base of that pyramid is going in right. So
yeah, people want to do like mad barbell complexes when they can't nail the basics of a squat. They're unstable at the bottom of the squat. So yeah,
exactly,
totally agree.
So like with that kind of whey protein thing, like we've had that kind of chat before. Like, is it a supplement or is it a food?
Yeah, well for me, whey protein is a food. I don't look at whey protein being a supplement. I look at it being like probably the cheapest per serving, tastiest per serving. You can't eat chocolate flavoured chicken breasts, and it's also the most convenient and easy to make. You know, you get a shaker, put a scoop of whey in it, and you can carry that with you all day. All you need to do is add water, and that's you've got a meal. You've got like between 100 and 200 calories depending. You've got 20 to 35 grams of protein, again depending on brand, depending what type of protein you're looking at, and it's strawberry flavour, chocolate flavour, vanilla flavour. You know, it's not chicken flavour. It's
one of those kind of proteins or it's one of those types of food sorts that it's just a really easy way to get more protein into your diet, and that's one of the big things we try and encourage a lot of people to do. But like I personally have like a whey protein like mix every morning. Like you see like a lot of people will kind of like that in the morning, always see me like munching my way through like my breakfast, and it's just like this like Greek yogurt and whey protein mix with like a ton of like good carbs that I just kind of ram down my neck at that time in the morning. But it's one of the kind of practical foods that ideally I'd love to have like eggs and bacon every morning. That's the dream, you know, but you can't have that every morning when you're in here at like from stupid o'clock in the morning to like maybe the last thing at night, that you're thinking, well, I don't really, as much as you don't have time, that's like not the best excuse. It's just that whole practicality number that you can think.
It's not what you'd rather do with your time at 5 in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. I'd rather wake up as late as I can, get in here just on time to plan stuff, and then hit the ground running. But it's one of those things that it's like, personally I see it as a food type as well, because you can easily add it to things to be able to just increase your protein content. And again, like I said, that's what we're trying to encourage people to do.
It's a really quick fit. Like for us, as much as we say, you know, start off with looking at proteins looking at supplements as the last port of call. Whey protein is something that we throw in quite quickly to people. We'll advise them to jump on that quite quickly, because what we see more often than not is that people don't eat enough protein. There's not enough protein in the diet. And the protein in the diet is what helps build and repair muscle. So as soon as people come in and start training, they start putting a lot of load through their body. They need to enhance their recovery, and the easiest way to do that is to increase their protein intake. Protein also, to use Marks and Spencer's tagline, keeps you fuller for longer. It keeps you more satisfied and stops you from having those hunger pangs. So rather than going and having a cake or a muffin or something else that's really calorie dense and not get too much nutrients in it or quality in it, having a protein shake or a protein bar is going to be a good way just to tick you over until dinner. So we throw that in quite a lot with people to kind of just give them something to eat that's not a pile of shite.
Because a lot of time when that hunger thing kicks in, like maybe mid-morning time or mid-afternoon time, or even like when you're on the way to like the gym, or we always advise people to like not train on an empty stomach. And I know like some people say fasted cardio, yada and whatnot, but it's one of those things that's, well, you know what, you're going to get more benefit out of having like an apple and a protein bar than you are going to the vending machine at your work and ramming like a Mars bar down your neck at that time of day. Then all of a sudden your blood sugar levels are spiked and you don't become as hungry for like your good proper calories that you may have cooked the night before or the day before to help you along that way. So but whey protein, it's...
So we talk about like having your ducks in a row, and we spoke about like having the supplements at the end of that. I think we're probably all aware that your ducks are pretty much in a row. Like you're pretty switched on, you're competing in weightlifting, you try and train for that, and that's obviously at the moment you've kind of hit a little bit of a sticky patch with injury, but like your ducks are in a row and therefore you do use supplements. So what do you take?
Right, for my sessions, if I was to leave here and go and start to train, or just start start squatting just now, I would have a shaker with like a couple of powders in it that they're legal. I'll just put a bundle of legal powders in it. So first off, I swear by caffeine. Caffeine's, I mean, you and I both swear by caffeine. It makes the world go round. So it keeps you human, and it keeps everyone around you alive.
Thankfully, caffeine has generally got no calories in it. I assume more rest.
Okay, so you can get caffeinated powder. I wouldn't recommend a lot of it. There was actually a study done in Northumberland Uni that they got the decimal in the wrong place, and they hospitalised all their.
Yes, that's a problem. That's a problem with studies.
Aye, the scientists, man, they're a riot. So we have like you have a small scoop of your caffeine powder into that. That's generally swear by caffeine. It's one of the most researched supplements on the market as well that it works, you could say. Creatine monohydrate. Big fan of that as well. If you have repeated bouts of explosive movement, for example weightlifting, for like back squat strength work itself, and you're not doing like a lot of like conditioning work, then creatine monohydrate is one of these ones that, again, it is alongside caffeine one of the most researched supplements in the book. That
caffeine, whey protein, creatine, like, they work.
Yeah, like that's like if you're a competitive strength athlete, they're almost like. They're just like a given. They're just there. They make the world go round. They're really fun to have. Not fun. They just help.
They're fun to have. It's fun to drink my legal powders.
On top of that, then we need to have like a solid kind of quick fix carbohydrate take in there. So we're looking at dextrose or a type of sugar powder to help that just get into the bloodstream a lot quicker as well. If your creatine just kind of swims about there in your stomach, then your resting levels are going to be there, but if you have that extra hit of sugar, that gets into your bloodstream a lot quicker and you're ready to use that right away. On top of that, we're then looking at branched chain amino acids. Branched chain amino acids, they're like if we think about like whey protein or like a basic protein like compound, like a block as such, a branched chain amino acid is like a longer chain of that. So if you can imagine like cubes, and one cube is like a protein, we then kind of put a bundle of those cubes together to form a chain, and these kind of chains have branches on them, and these things are called branched chain amino acids. They are an easy way to get more protein into the bloodstream and into your muscle quicker as well when taken with a dextrose, so that sugar powder as well, to help repair and replenish energy a little bit quicker between, for example, your sets that you would do when doing, again, weightlifting or strength work itself. Glutamine, big fan of glutamine as well. That's my final one. Glutamine, it's, for a start, it prevents research there has shown it prevents a good bit of muscle wastage. Similar to it is a branched chain amino acid, but it's just one of these things as well that's shown to help your immune system. So we try and whenever you're on like a calorie deficit, know that like I'm on a calorie deficit just now, and you're trying to train your ass off, and especially in this country when it's not exactly the warmest of weather, then your immune system does take a bit of a hit. When your body's always trying to recover, your body always has like a little drop in white blood cells, because you're trying to increase your red blood cells to help all this recovery happen. When your white blood cells drop down a little bit lower, you're leaving yourself open to not so much infection, but more like any kind of more bacteria that's lingering about there. You go into any gym across the board, you're going to have bacteria swimming about there. It just needs someone that sneezes or coughs on the wrong bit of kit that you're about to use, and hey press, so you've got yourself a little bit of an illness there. So glutamine can help turn your immune system into a nuclear warhead. It's absolutely brilliant, and I personally notice the difference when I don't have it in my diet. It just really helps. So I'd put that into a shake, add about 300 ml of water, give it a shake up, and yeah, that'll see me through like a session as such. And yeah, that, not that I can't train without it, but definitely it's one of those things that I personally like to have, and I'd recommend the majority of strength athletes to. Yeah, so
if we take that, so you say like you'd recommend that to the majority of strength athletes.
Yeah.
If we recommend that to the general population.
Yeah.
We recommend it to like 1% of the general population.
Yeah, outside of that, I'd just be saying, I reckon everyone would just have a really expensive piss at the end of the day,
exactly.
because they're not going to be using all those types of like supplements adequately as such. They're just going to be, you're just passing a lot of that out in your urine.
Yeah.
So like if you were coming in doing like some basic general gym work, going to like a class, going to like like one of our sessions here, then like I said, what you're taking in that 300ml, that just turns into an expensive piss. I train for personally about 1.5 hours to 2 hours, and that's, I wouldn't say it's non-stop, but it's definitely requiring that extra little bit of hit of like nutrients.
Once you get past like hour of training, you need some sort of carbohydrate. Whether it's a banana, whether it's like a Lucozade Sport as we've got written on the board, or whether it's like an intra-workout carb drink, like you need something. But for that kind of like 40 minutes to an hour workout, the majority of people's workouts will be, unless they're being lazy and dragging it on, like intra-workout carbs are just not necessary. Unless somebody's just starting out and like their blood sugar levels are dying, they're really unfit, and they just need that to kind of sip on to keep them from feeling sick. But generally speaking, like for me, I've been through the stage where I used to take every supplement under the sun. I used to like all but snort pre-workout before I go and train. Be like 4 scoops in the shaker. I used to wrap my hands before I even left the house and drive to the gym.
Gum shield in.
My gummy in and my hands wrapped when I was young and stupid. But nowadays, like my ducks aren't in a row, so for me it's about just eating decent food, making sure I maintain my physique, making sure I maintain my weight there and thereabouts, and for me, investing in supplements, albeit I do use protein bars. I do eat quite a lot of protein bars when I'm out on the go, so that could arguably be a supplement, but we would say it's more of a food. I'm not taking anything at all, and I think that I'm probably a better example for most people who train with us, certainly, in terms of the fact that like they're probably more like me than they are like you, and therefore it just makes more sense for them to, if they're looking for caffeine before training, like have a coffee, just have a black coffee, have a shot of espresso, and then that'll tick that box. As we've got on the board, if you're struggling, like Lucozade Sport, you know, maybe like a diluting juice or something, or like a water with some electrolyte mix in it, that'll tide you over. And then afterwards you've got like a post-workout, so you can have a protein bar, a whey shake, even like you've got chocolate milk up there.
Chocolate milk, man, it's like like honestly, like see, like it's the simplest, like what is it, I like a lot of your nutrition course, and like as far as I know, like UK strength and conditioning like swear by like chocolate milk, you know what I mean? Even a bottle of like chocolate Yazoo, as much as the calories in are quite high, you know, calories are quite high, and you look at the sugar on it, you're like, holy shit, that's a lot of sugar. Well, again, let's dial it back to like, that's fuel. At the end of the day, your body's just kind of like, oh my god, like this is, I need a source of fuel. Boom, there's like your little kind of sugar spike to help you possibly recover that. Like not all like sugar is like okay to have every now and again around your kind of workout time if you're really struggling, but obviously don't rely on it at 10 o'clock at night when you've got a little bit of a hunger craving, you know. But it's one of those things of going, well, like
I think that you hit the nail on the head, like it is high in calories. So chocolate milk, like cool, pretty decent protein source, but you just got to be careful. Like most of the people that we train are looking to lose body fat, looking to drop body fat,
and they've just burned like 500-600 calories during a session.
Smashing a 600 calorie bottle of Yazoo is not going to be a wise idea for them, when they could have a chocolate flavoured protein shake that'll be like 100, and they're still down 400 or 500 calories net. So that's pretty decent stuff. So the other thing we put up on the board is Herbalife Juice Plus cleansing shit and aloe vera. I think it's probably important to talk about that. It's Cambridge diet's another one. I'm just going to sit back and let you kind of have a wee sit back. These things are like nutritional systems, I would say, rather than supplements. Like these companies are trying to indoctrinate people's minds and make people solely rely on their products. So if you look at like any of those, it's like have 2 shakes a day and your dinner, or have like 1 shake a day or 3 shakes a day. I don't even know how they work. I've never looked into them that much, because the more I look into them, the more annoyed I get, and the more I kind of feel like smashing up my laptop and everything else around me. So these things are not so much supplements as they are systems, where it's like, right, just do what we say and you'll lose weight. but all it is starvation. Like all you're doing is not eating food. And one of the girls in here asked me about the aloe vera diet, and I actually had to go and Google it, and I looked it up, and it was like something like 9 tablespoons of aloe vera, like gel or something like that, a liquid.
Don't people wash their face with that?
I don't know. But like, seeing like people who want me to sell that shit to our members, who get in touch and like, hey, I've got a really good business opportunity for you. You can make a lot of money. Like, find a fire, crawl into it, sit in it until you're toast, please. That's probably quite harsh, right?
Needs must, man. Needs must.
But it's like, of course you're going to lose weight if you're only taking on like 400 calories a day. What's Muncie say? He's at it. He's a raging Herbalife as well. But you're only taking on
an epic expensive jobby.
Yeah, fair dues. But you're only taking on like 300 or 400 calories a day if you're having those couple of shakes and your dinner. Maybe 600, 700 calories. You're still going to be massively underneath where most people's maintenance calories are going to be, and therefore you're going to lose weight. Like, the starvation diet works. Like, if you don't eat food, you're going to lose weight. The problem with it is that it's going to wreak havoc with your insides. You're going to be like, you're either going to have diarrhea, you're going to be constipated, you're going to feel sick, you're going to be really lightheaded. A lot of these things tell you not to do any exercise and to be careful when you're standing up, and don't stand up too quick, because you've got no energy. Your blood pressure is dropping to the extent where when you stand up or if you exercise, like your chances of fainting are through the roof, and therefore they're telling you not to do it,
and that's ridiculous. That's just unhealthy.
So like if you're not training and you're taking on one of these nutrition systems, your muscle mass is going to decrease because you're not eating enough food, you're hardly getting any protein in your diet, and you're also not training to maintain your muscle mass. You're losing body fat, but you're losing muscle as well, which means that your basal metabolic rate is dropping, because that's the more muscle you've got in your body, the more calories you burn at rest and when you're doing stuff. So if that muscle mass starts to drop, your body fat will drop too. You jump in the scales, you're happy because you're lighter, but you're actually just a shitter human being. Like you're like, and I don't mean that as like terms of your character, because I don't want to offend anybody who's actually on it, but like in terms of being a useful physical specimen, like your use has diminished massively by losing muscle mass and losing body fat. And then you use the scales as like a happy place and jump in the scales like, oh yeah, I'm down in weight, but you're creating a shitstorm for yourself as soon as you stop doing that, because you stop doing one of these diets, you go back to what you're doing, what you were doing before, which is just eating food like humans should do. And then your calories go up just by eating like the normal foods that you're used to eating. You go back to just about maintenance or above maintenance. You gain weight back
because your digestive enzymes have been like starved of that process of like proper nutrients. Your body just wants to hold on to those calories, just kind of wash itself with it.
And then people go into this like really, really messed up state of mind where they think like, oh, this isn't working for me, this real food stuff. I'm going to go back and eat and just drink my calories, or like go back on these shakes. And then like they see that as the vehicle for weight loss success, when all it is starvation. Like, look at Africa as a continent. Like, there's not an obesity epidemic over there because there's famine everywhere and people don't have enough food. Like, that works. People like, it riles me up.
Oh, I'm glad I wrote this down now.
It riles me up because we ultimately then we have to deal with it. What we've got to do is then re-educate people when they come to us. In terms of like, right, this is your belief system at the moment. It is massively, massively flawed. You have been brainwashed by massive companies who are making a ton of money off you. And now we've got to pick up the pieces. Now we've got to try and like tell you everything you've read or been told so far is wrong. And you're probably not going to believe us for a period of time, which makes us feel really stupid, because we're like, right, how are we not getting results? How can we not convince this person that like the truth or the way, like I'll show them the way, like isn't is a correct path? And then people kind of keep going back to it because like it works, and it's just starvation. And these companies are making billions of pounds off of really vulnerable people who are desperate for change. And it breaks my heart, man. And then you've got like gyms all around the country struggling to keep the doors open while spreading the good message. We should just start punting that stuff. Right, anyway,
before more ethics get tested,
let's leave that there before I got more human shit. I really didn't mean to refer to anybody as a shit human being. I just meant as a physical specimen.
The vehicle.
Your vehicle. You're diminishing your physical use in life, and you're making your like, if you're not maintaining your muscle mass, or you're not trying to increase more muscle muscle mass. Like your bone density is going to decrease if you're not eating enough protein, you're not training. So that means that if you're not training, then your balance is going to be off. Your coordination might start to slip, and then like the older you get, like the higher your chances of injury are if you fall. So if your bone density is down, your balance is off, and your coordination isn't there, and like if you're not training, like your power is also not going to be there, so your reaction times are going to be poorer. If you slip, like you're going down and you're going to break your hip, you're going to break your arm, you're going to break your shoulder. Like if
it'd be interesting to see the kind of drop off that's created. Like the people that are going to do that sustained usage over like a number of years. So say like if they do that, like one of those supplements there for like a year, 2 years, 3 years, like where does their metabolism take them in that time then, and what's the drop off, like what's the long term diminishing health that, like, are we going to see more people like that? Are we going to have more people that are just going to be like admitted to hospital because like not so much even like as weak as like their bones are going to like start cracking on them, but it's that way, like
start failing.
It's like exactly. I mean, but it's that way. It's, I mean, even like those vapors, I mean, like that's like the whole cigarette replacement thing. It's like they're probably not even healthy either, you know. But so
it smells a lot better when you walk past somebody when they're smoking like an apple pie flavoured pipe. You walk past.
A mist of potpourri.
It's quite nice as opposed to like cigarette smoke.
So, like, what are we going to see from that then? It'd be interesting to kind of see, because you see a lot of your kind of reps from these businesses will like keep talking away about it and how it's so good for them. It's like, when's there going to be like those kind of red flags starting to flag up for the people that are like, how long does it take until like something badly goes wrong with them?
I'm going to go again. So the real issue with these companies is that they like, as much as they're trying to attract people who are desperate to lose weight and desperate to make change, right, their vehicle for doing that is through desperate personal trainers who are trying to, or desperate health professionals, or people who aren't making more money, who aren't making enough money. So these reps from these companies get in touch with personal trainers who aren't making enough money, or fitness instructors, or people who have got a level of influence over other people and looked upon as a semi-expert. So they go to them and say, look, if you sell our supplements or products, then you'll make money off them. So it's like the business is built on desperation and vulnerability, because they're trying to attract people who want to lose weight, who are really desperate, and they do that by attracting people who want to make money and are really desperate to make money. And then like the guys at the top make money, they sell it on to these guys who aren't making enough money, who then invest in that but don't really know how to sell anything anyway, so therefore they can't make money off this stuff, so they just end up with a big pile of products. Then they sort of end up leeching on to try and get people like me to jump on board with them and sell their products to my clients, like who like we've worked for years and years building up trust with our members, who like if we say like this is good or this is bad, they're going to take our word for it because that trust's there. Like it's so, I said this to a young PT like about 6 months ago, it's so hard to build a good reputation in the fitness industry, but one slip and it's gone. People
like attracts like, right? That whole way about, if you end up giving out the wrong message, or you like continuously like hurt someone or people, it's one of those things that vibe sort of kind of tends to follow you about, especially like in Glasgow. When like when hearing stories about, oh, my PT did this or my PT did that, and it's like, cool, right, but this is the way we do it, and this is like the simplest, most easiest, there's nothing really easy about it, but the simplest, most like applicable way that we can try and do things. But before you go off on another tangent,
I'm not going
cool, there's a bundle more kind of supplements that we kind of put it out to like our members as to what ones have you heard about and what ones do you want to know more about. And one of the big ones that we got back was like ZMA. So have you taken ZMA before? Or
I have taken it before, and I'm a big fan of it. I tend to like, ZMA is a combination between zinc, magnesium and B6, is that right?
Yeah.
And zinc helps increase testosterone, which is a good thing for males or females because it's going to help promote muscle mass, which we've just hopefully talked about there in a very aggressive way about why that's a good thing for males or females. Magnesium's like a muscle relaxant, it helps you kind of decompress and stress out, it helps your muscles kind of recover. So if you take that before bed, like you're putting yourself in a relaxed state to then go to bed. But what are the dreams like? Oh
man, like they're not quite tramadol-esque, but my god, they feel good. But right, this is not a sleeping tablet, right? Because a lot of people say, oh, it helps you sleep, and then you hear insomniacs going, I'm ramming ZMA down my neck and nothing's happening. You're going, right, again, this is not a sleeping tablet. a lot of the time though, when like, some people say like a bundle of supplements.